a rebel is any place, person, or thing that defies convention. The Berkeley campus in the 60s was a rebellious place. James Dean was a rebel. Elvis was a rebel. Even the car I'm driving right now, a 1971 Di Tommaso Pantera. Although these were sold by Lincoln Mercury, it was an unusual car for America. It was a little bit less than a Ferrari or a Maserati, but it had a big Cleveland 351 Ford engine in the back, making massive amounts of horsepower. You had a 5-speed ZF transmission, just like the GT40 that had won Le Mans just a few years earlier. It was truly a revolutionary car, and of course, it was built in Italy by a man who actually was a rebel, Alejandro Di Tommaso. He was an Argentinian who had to leave Argentina because he tried to overthrow the government of Juan Perón. He went to Italy and he built cars. And I'm on my way to meet a buddy of mine who I think he's kind of a rebel. He comes from Scotland, where I think he was a bit of a hellraiser. He was in a punk band, he was a drummer, he was an alcoholic, but above all, he's a very funny comedian. Let's go meet him right now. He's waiting for me in my garage.
Jay, you there? You wearing a denim shirt and denim pants? You wearing denim? Jay, it's David Letterman. Let me in. Jay!
We're sorry. The number you have reached is not in service.
I see you.
Come on inside.
I'm not getting in
Let
there.
me park this thing.
No, I'm not getting in there.
I'm not putting you in this.
All right, come on, open it up. I want to see what your code is.
I'm not giving you my code. It's Craig Ferguson, folks. Follow me. Known for his character, Mr. Wick, on The Drew Carey Show, and for his many years hosting The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. Craig is such a rebel, he has the slogan, "Join or die," from the American Revolution tattooed on his arm. Oh, and few rebels can pull off a skirt like this guy. I remember when on Tonight Show the first time I was talking to you about cars, thinking we would bond because it's sort of rebellious guy, but you didn't show any rebellion in an automotive way, did you?
I couldn't show any rebellion in an automotive way. I didn't have any money for a car. My dad had a car.
Yeah. Now, what did your dad drive? What kind of car was the family car?
My dad had a Morris Oxford, an underpowered tin biscuit barrel kind of a thing.
10 biscuit barrel.
Yeah. But it was, you know what? It smelled really good inside.
Yeah.
It smelled like an old car. Like,
Yeah.
even when I get in an old car now, I'm like, it smells, it had that proper car smell. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. In fact, take a look at this.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. This is punk rock.
Yeah. It
It's,
doesn't get more rebellious than this.
This is fantastic.
Yeah. You get that?
Yeah. You know what that is? That's the 1960s. That's when the world made sense.
Yeah. The Morris Minor was manufactured in England by Morris Motors from 1948 till 1971. Over 1.3 million Minors were produced. Part of its success was due to its rebellious engine. Let me finish. The car's designer, Alec Izagonis, intentionally wanted a very small engine to avoid the British horsepower tax. And what's more rebellious than tax evasion?
My dad was a postman.
Right.
And he had a red one. He drove a red one of these as a post office van.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it didn't have the wood on it, but it was like Her Majesty's Royal Mail on the
right.
side.
Wow.
And that's how the Queen gets her mail in one of these to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This car, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this car. This is a rebellious car.
Right.
Because once in 1990, I went to Sri Lanka.
Right.
I was kind of drunk, and I ended up in Sri Lanka. There were 2 civil wars going on in Sri
Right.
Lanka at the time, and everybody was driving these cars like it's a roller derby, though.
Right.
Like crazy. This must be like 30, 35 horsepower in this baby.
Yeah, you're looking at that, close to 40. That's right, exactly.
My dad sometimes drove us in the post office van like
Right.
this. But this was before, you know how kids have got, you see them now in car seats, they've got the 5-point
Right, yeah.
harness,
Oh,
look
yeah.
like Hannibal Lecter in the back of the seat.
Yeah.
He would just like put us in the back next to the mail and go, careful, we're going right, look out.
Oh, you get this. Hey, get back. Come and do a stop. Get
That's
that.
right, we put your hand over like that, like it would stop it.
Yeah, like that. Like that. That would be...
But it was fantastic, and I do love this car. And it's British,
Right.
because it's got a little flag there. Can I have this?
No.
I'd like to have this.
No, I'm sorry.
I'll paint it red and write Royal Mail on the side.
We can go for a drive if you like.
Yes,
You can drive
I
it.
would like
all
to
right.
drive it, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
hop in and go
Come
for
on
a
then,
ride.
let's do
Come
it.
on, let's do it.
Whoa! Geez, my dad must have been smaller than I remember him.
You need second gear. You think you got so fast?
I tried to go into second gear like an idiot. Woo! Sweet.
Let's see if it makes the hill. Oh, we're going up a hill. Come on, Letty.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I think I can. Second gear, lad.
You know, I have a new respect for my dad.
Yeah. Oh, smell that clutch.
Not my car. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful.
What was your first car?
I had a bunch of different second-hand cars when I was young. I had an old Mercedes 200.
Right.
And I had a car called a Hillman Hunter.
Oh, Hillman Hunter, yes.
Oh, you know it?
I know the Hillman Hunter.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny. Did you have your first romantic encounter in a car?
No.
No?
Man, no. I had my first romantic encounter in a...
By yourself, probably.
Well, I was on my own for sure. Yeah. In a shrub.
Oh, in a shrub.
Yeah, in a shrub.
See, in America, you couldn't get a girl without a car.
Right.
You had to have a car.
Yeah.
In England, you just needed a biscuit or something, because in Scotland, just a biscuit.
Do you want to come to my house and get a biscuit?
I've got food. Oh, there's a Scottish guy with food. Oh, he stalled it. Go, laddie, start it. Bit of gas. Oh! Look at
It's
that.
really hard to drive this thing.
Just not used to this kind of power. Driving with Craig Ferguson.
There
It's
you
certainly
go.
an adventure.
I feel like you're judging me a little bit.
Let me ask you about the early days. Now, you were a singer, a rock star.
No,
before
no, I was a drummer,
You were,
Jack.
yeah, what was it, the Dream Boys? Was that
The
name?
Dream Boys was the name of the band. That was before.
And how old were you then?
I was about 18.
18, all right.
We were originally called the Bastards from Hell, which
The
I think.
Bastards from Hell.
Bastards from Hell.
I
yeah.
think that's more appropriate.
Yeah, that's a better name.
Was that the only band you were in?
No, I was in a bunch of different bands, but that's the only one. I was pretty drunk back then, so that's one of the ones I remember.
Okay.
But there are other ones. I've seen photographs and heard things.
Yeah.
I got into comedy because of the bands. It was like a whole kind of movement, you know what I mean?
Right.
So there were no comedy clubs. So it was like, there'd be like, you go up and say some funny things and then introduce the band. And so I would, and that's kind of how I got into it. There was a very low standard for what was funny.
Yeah.
And a bunch of drunk punk rockers. And I've kept that low standard, I think.
You don't want to raise the bar. That ruins it for
That makes
everybody.
the rest of the guys look bad.
Yeah,
Exactly. You don't want to do that. You want to be a
you
team
don't
player.
Want to do that, yeah. But you're an airplane guy, though, more than a car guy.
I
Huh?
do love airplanes.
Yeah. And you fly.
I do. I've got a pilot's license. There's a lot less gears in an
Yeah.
airplane. You know, you hit the gas and you stay on the gas and then you pull it back.
Right.
And you take the gas out and you land it. It's much simpler than trying to drive a 50-year-old car with a stick shift. You know why I loved aviation? In show business, you live by bull. Everything is bull. In engineering, in flying, in cars, you bull, you die. You lie about your ability to do what you can do, you'll end up dead.
That's always my thing. People are like, why do you like cars? Because if a car is broken and now it's running, well, no one can say it's not running.
Right.
You can't tell me that's not running.
It's not a matter of opinion.
Right.
And that I kind of love. Man, it's pretty out here. I've never been out here. Oh, man. That was rude.
Well, Craig, I'd like to talk to you longer, but this car can't take any more abuse. So,
Thanks for letting me drive it.
I hear the car going, help me.
And